Sounds like another Mexican player may also soon be leaving the Eredivisie, but not for MLS, instead for the Premier League. Of course, we're talking Santiago Gimenez, who's currently at Feyenoord, but was spotted this weekend in London at the North London derby, Arsenal and Spurs, both of whom he's been linked to. This, of course, a couple days after his agents met with representatives of AC Milan in Italy. Herc, what do you think is a better landing spot for Santi? Spurs or AC Milan?
Woo! You know, this was a talk we had, a segment we did about maybe 2-3 months ago. And I had mentioned how my dream spot for him would have been Spurs. I don't know if you recall that.
You love the style of
I love the
Spurs.
style that Ancha proposes, what he tries to play. It's fast. It's in your face.
It's reckless. It's a little bit naive at times.
It is naive.
But as a forward,
reckless.
I guess, who cares? Right.
And if you're a forward that is dynamic, like I think Santi Gimenez is, you can do very well in a situation like that. If you are put in situations to succeed, I think the system just suits him better. I also think everybody wins here. You're getting a forward that maybe fits the piece of the puzzle that you're looking for. A dynamic forward who's goal dangerous, who gets in behind, who can play multiple positions in that front line. And also for Santi, it's a great level, the Premier League, but not necessarily the team at that toxic level where you need immediately.
Wow, I don't know about that. I think Spurs, I think Spurs
Would
is
you put it
a
at the
high. Yeah, they're a Big Six club in London, man.
Yeah, but it's not as toxic if you look at other clubs like your United, Barcelona.
Toxic or not, pressure and immediate need to score. If he goes to Spurs or AC Milan.
Here's the thing with AC Milan. You're giving me these two. So here's the thing with AC Milan. Stefano Pioli, all signs point to he's gone. He is out.
Right.
So you're going in a situation where you don't even know who the coach is. You're trying to bank on them rebuilding this club to fight in Serie A without knowing who the manager is, without knowing the style, without even knowing if this manager counts on you or not. And what is, I would say, not the most sure of things if you're a 9 right now. Jovic, who was there, the guy who was at Frankfurt and then went to
Jovic,
Frankfurt and then to Real Madrid. We see the lack of time that he has had there at AC Milan. They depended on Olivier Giroud, and rightfully so. You know, at 36 years old or not, he was scoring goals. But it's more of a volatile position if you want that 9 spot without even knowing what you're walking into. I would opt for Spurs, and especially because it's the Premier League. I'm sure it's a league that maybe suits him a little bit more with the style of how Spurs play.
So the question really here for me is he going to be a starter, like a guaranteed starter? And so when I look at both of these clubs, they fit into the category of I'm not sure.
Right.
These are very big clubs, very big leagues, lots of pressure. This is not that middle step to go from Feyenoord to a team where you know they're getting Santi to be the guy, and he's going to have a leash because they don't really have other options. There's going to be other good choices at either of these clubs. For me, there's a case to be made here for Milan, and it's actually a little bit about what you're talking about, but I'm going to flip it. If it was Pioli, and we're going to talk about how AC Milan looks in big games, and we've talked about it a lot on the show because we watch for Pulisic, we watch for Musa. If it was Pioli staying, I would say no, don't stay. But I look at AC Milan, I look at how Pulisic did arriving in Serie A, how well his first season went.
Right.
Yunus Musa, obviously not as good of a season as Pulisic, but exceeded our expectations. I could see at AC Milan, Santiago Gimenez getting there and doing well, much more likelier than I could at a club like Spurs, where you've got one, I think, more competition. You've got Son who can play through the middle. You've still got Richarlison who's on contract, I think, for at least another 2 or 3 years at Spurs.
Yeah.
At Milan, that opening's there, and the fact that you don't know who's going to be the next manager, if it's the right guy, I don't mind Serie A, because to me, Serie A is still a notch below the Premier League.
I agree.
And that's I think, that there might be some games in Serie A where Santi can maybe get a foothold in and then start to grow.
And that's
whereas
fair.
in the Premier League, I don't think there's that many of those.
But as a player heading into a situation that you don't know, like if your goal is to play regardless of the level, but you want to play, you want a situation where you think you'll have an opportunity, how could you bank on going somewhere where there's no coach, where there's no certainty of who the coach will be, or what that style will be, or where you fit into those plans? I think that's the most important thing for Santi Gimenez. You look at Spurs on the other side, sure, the level is harder, but if a team like Spurs is looking for you, and this is another thing, is the transfer fee.
Right.
You best bet that transfer fee is going to be a little higher than what we've heard about, this 40 million or 30 million. That's going to be a lot higher. So I don't mind it as much if I'm Santi, a situation that I know, a coach that I trust, a level that I think is good, a team that plays more of my brand, instead of heading into the uncertainty of AC Milan.
You know who's putting in the work right now in the Santiago Gimenez camp? The agent.
Yes.
We see him at a game where he's been linked to both teams.
Yeah.
And now we've seen his family and crew in
Yes.
Milan. So everybody who's not talking to Santiago Gimenez right now probably feels like they're behind in the pursuit.
She's been busy, man.
Yep.
And Santi Gimenez, his father, has been very instrumental in his career, almost playing a manager-like role.
Mm-hmm.
So the agent, she and his father have been everywhere with, trust me, it's been Sevilla that they've been to, Seville last season, and now it's Milan and London. So we'll see where he goes.
Picking up those frequent flyer miles as they try to move Santiago Gimenez elsewhere in Europe.